Abusia oba party wa Vim Powerhouse any in the camp edin komo na unim se eye chese nananom se mechra chese eye Oheneba media see you sisi am no ka sei ye penache ne de maybe ana unim ene woti do wadwane milkatente ayo hwe na yehu na sisi am no ka sei police case ekoso ahemfo bia abusia wode nsem atoto omo so se ena na so masikura ka sei na so masisi sei we sisi sani nyina da abusia na woboa na nananum bi so tenase na mo hwedin a na wo so mo kasa omutirwante sa eye chese nananum se ebe yi omayibone sisi am no ka sei yade a even nananum ankasa kura no epe eye chese Oheneba media CEO arrest no allegedly according to Nkomatim legal for AD and I so ye can be eguso aye Daily Gossip TV and then the first time I mesro so be subscribe we are na wabo modern wa follow ye our other social media platforms in the represent kwe ne nko TV emfamra
page bi so and we be ka say or there some na police station for ama o meka enwo asem biem and o feel line so and na papa ne de bi oba line so na wa ama so yes one maso sansa issue nintia enti nananom se ne ho akire no e na audio no ye okeka sansem no ade chen ya wakoyi audio na firi no waye the same thing but wayi sa kasa na firi mu na se omo so so record sa audio ni mienu nyina de ko won se wo odwane
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Nana, why are you running? Why? Enti yes ono oba bia wo na nkoko adorin osebibi eno afro bana ka che ne se asemu enti no mo de akoma police enti wontimi mba enra yi enti uni abema ne de no ho se de esi a kire no no enya sem ketwa
ye tutu sake semunyini munya den wonwuni awanya ye tutu sake Yetu Nadia so. Yetu sake. Ebe pacho ekobi. But I don't know.
Oba bobo.
Eme meho. Akosia se wa PSC kwesi. What akosia se wa PSC kwesi songa be.
Did another say no lawsuits in the left and right.
Akwanda tuka odivi. What to be the people just was about to quota every day about to quota. I don't know what to condom and I got it. And when I'm glad of your infant. Yeah, we would do something to quota. I got a condom. Hey.
Me got me got a baby formula ne but this is you choose it. Yes, about me pay why me why
I can't grab it and do it so now I can't grab it because any Enkofuesi asa wo mo emala ya ma no nana ya ono ne boy se omo ze yesu mba wo se spark ne na enkofo aye wa de sa no obi e baba ne ba se ya dia
me ni si spark
ya dia owo one pack se ko bia
Akawe.
Oba mi ni six pack, why? Mi ni six pack.
I go vote say nananom say okay asem.
The obenya say wo.
I go na be say me no be for. Me no because I don't know baby deny cry na a shame. Why I did not say Messia? Pacho and one say oh
or no pacho. I do zero.
We say baby chantro. And excuse in the cross out the by crying and say, Kumi. Now, I say, you go school down. I say, or call telecom. People here, I
on data protection law. Obey to our telecom.
Who went to go telephone? I record this. What
see these things, me,
Kasa na ya be interview until he say oh you free. Kasa to say oh yeah. The list one. Na nanum say.
Oh follow Yesu Kristo footsteps.
That's what to say me. Yeah, empire once. Yeah, empire once. And nanum say kwa na mama.
According to the Domokan, Yesu Kristo na and implant Mary Magdalene also there no. Enough about it.
Maybe I will do no. About so maybe I will do no.
Busy you oba
Is there one now investigation?
Exactly. Also OTB because it chose Yamian Obama what and I won't know so I Oba Jones was statue, they have a diagro. They have a diagro.
Tupac, Manhyia. About Obit my rap now, yeah.
2 minutes, you know.
Aye.
Okay. Right.
2 minutes. Now, voice in Upani. Voice as a sound.
Be move and be voice and go.
Oh, no, best friend. Your friends come out. Young Sissy. Manhyia is it? Young Bernish.
That one day say they ask a tear for so.
I said, what I want?
I don't know what tear for so. And never be a year. Hey, and I'm a Ghana, and a people to Nagana Hono, and football when one go on a yeah. Ghana, she may be a new. I'm on for wait, was I or Ghana? If the last video where first, not me for so Nimyansa, but some issues with Capriano. In fact, and no more yet, just a major woman Tiasi. Because Uncle Cano Crapa. Minima dear Yano, Avene, baby or in some Namono, and Yakura. Hey, me were Ghana. If you want to know, Ghana, she Yatagana di Janum. A Crovia, Okota Junior, Obaconegu from the Bacofia the Bediane. Na anyan kwa kuro so ye gina mu edi dwa enum
Oba best friend o menya ni sa
ekura okọ club oba na akronfo di wachi Kobi oh David Debi okotade
Kasa no, yeah, me got today.
And yet, what's your bondi?
No, man. Me coach soccer.
Oh, coach soccer. I was young go
World Cup.
Yes, ba, young boy.
Me boy. Na Oba World Cup. Oh, Mama Ribiana.
Earlier World Cup. And yeah, I'm any part of the purpose.
Mama visa.
I want to Ghana go apply any part three penny the mouth. I don't know. Kolo match was the one when you like Ghana.
Oh.
And as a Ghana for a binya brigade. Aboje for an way. Now, Oma or Mugum one and go.
I'm with for no many time, sir.
Fra chiao. Se fra fro se fa frao se. Se frafro, the fafa. Oja Yezua.
Fra. Fata. Fafa.
Name Obakra, we are more. Yezuba. Na, you know, I go Shabiana, born Rako Shabiana. And that's any part penny, Amamo. This idea.
Tiwanya is you.
Anybody be apply the tray. Yeah. A trap or yes, but to what is our Mokoya Kakabako Krama. And now, and go film and I'm from Banada. Now, we did play that business about a career ball. My and I will look with January. Will be our baby. Oh, now, all my young monk over one crater and walk out and knows you. And now, human right a cover. I will clear my brother. Yes, oh, wife, away.
No, yere.
Sure.
Obaso.
Our girlfriend
Say the market, Anna.
Our girlfriend, a friend in Aduma. Yeah.
I know, man. You can't do your documents in US. Okay.
Fra said yes, but take care of your sister Emma. Na Emma waka yozo obezo obi take care oza. Emma gina we oche Yesu suba peni o. Wado nem ko take care of Emma oche le kakra no. Am I adult? Adult.
Me abusia for me patcho nipa na or say there's a new law no. Na wuntimi your documents or US me senwo. We dey news to me na me patcho mo the Supreme Court ama o ma approve ana.
Elisa.
Bi ana say afa no mo the proposal no mo be kan wazem.
No, da bene bai.
Omo say enra o say bibisa. I'm saying the policy is serious. Oh, and I say, say nyamara.
But so be almost challenge. It's a challenge. Trump there. No good.
It's just a policy.
It just came to effect.
There's a immigration for policy update, no. But but it's just policy update. I don't know.
Because it's gonna be challenged.
Because also it has to do with federal. In federal, and you'll be company. No, sorry, changing the policy. It has to go through the legal process. What you're saying, policy update can't change like that. It's not a law, no be a cano. It's just a memo. Yeah, because federal no are buying. You can't even with the state known to make us updating the policy. It has to be in the law. Way they miniature say. I know
Trump always do his executive orders. So then will be a challenge to the courts.
I know, sir, we don't have to trust the Supreme Court, but Nema saying it's not. It's just like birthright. No so the coil failing, and you know. I mean, he's gonna try, but and there might be a Supreme Court, and they know say be affected families. No near they didn't know. We take a lot of things into consideration, but the most important thing is it's just a policy update. Policy update cannot be law. So, I mean, when they be man call for, I do not done they are disturbing call for life, but it's just a policy update. It's not a law, so it's a good thing.
Abrante akasa abra top na be chechirebo la na be na law ibai.
Hey, Kobe.
Hi.
Yes. So I can just chip in something. So and I'm in US anyway. I went through the process, the whole process before I got my citizenship. So there are two ways that you can get green card. It's either you someone files for you on na so we're back home now we go through all the initial we apply for we call USCIS and almost send the consulates in your home country say where sana then pa chrono or interview bibia or fele DS 260 form no for immigrant visa application na say omo approve ya or interview no mo approve ya na waba then you apply for your green card. It's just a USCIS on the way. Then you just apply. I think it's $200 and something. You just pay. You don't even apply. You pay for your green card. Not melia bro. Either you do that, or if you are already in the US, you can apply for adjustment of status. In that case, if you are the visitors way in a bar, and as a student visa, and as whatever it is, if you want to get green card, let me apply for adjustment of status. That is, if you're already in the US. Now, also in all this, the official immigration way, officer now, or your way, or your friend, I'm friend say adjudicating officer.
Adjudicator, yeah.
Yes, adjudicator, or your friends or some discretionary powers. Obey to me actually you can do everything right, but obey to me decide to say on farm now. And it's a privilege, right? On approve you won't be you can only appeal.
Mommy, so, wait. Yeah, mommy, so US now the students are in a bar. How do you qualify for green card?
No, I just said, sir, you can honestly. Also, more different pathways.
That is our warrior.
Yes. Yes, there are different pathways. Sometimes, we are students way. So I want to be very intelligent, and they have programs like that. Or to mean secure a or some maybe company be and also our skill set be government in the field say the economy meter. Obey to me apply on for green card.
Okay.
Yes, if you have some skill set to be here, they can give you that into different pathways, And of course, who to me the year through our year. And most of us say a crime so fire. Now, yes. It's now policy updates the Friday it was actually NBC News so it was an internal memo but I won't say papa the way na quite to say or a bit of asset to politics like no back home or create way now I say
fear and panic bibi or the tomb just to make them look powerful as omu ye juma gidi. So this was an internal way but almost sheda and omu liki ye omu catch almost say look ube to me obi wa hana so apply for adjustment of status ube to me I can say no one ye onko back home on na nipa kro no on fantum mano instead say owa hada dada no. And mind you, by the time we come over yes, by the time we apply for adjustment of status, no way ni no. Most of the time, no, now we visit we no echom ne because even if my 5 years visa crana, a multiple entry into one to me and stay with her more than 6 months at a go. Into no, into no. By the time when you back and forth, we apply on be way near the no na. 6 months in a term. It's no most people know yana overstay already. Into what this new yina policy update, what it seeks to do is say a culture officers and say it's an opportunity for them. Into the no culture also it's okay. Udi kofie na home country especially say a warrior. I don't know. Omega also Kofi na nipa no omba foul on through process no na on foul umra but to me adjust still status and this na make us say idea wo hoda dada but just that say omon tan yeah because discretionary officer no but we no person in crop for no omo exercise sa we no more
discretionary powers. Okay.
Exactly. In fact, in the year 2000, Madame Fubi menene wa ha ne papa ba ha say oba visit na oba yare ni we ni ade nti no hu say ne health no enhye anya we and mind you covid so by nti no na waye we no decide say oh in that case na then na me apply for we green card man no because I a citizen already ono madam for no and no apply when him say omo tron say and this was 2000 I'm sorry, 2020. Omo trying say, omo say ne papa, onko fie, oma ni nko fie, na omo nye we, omo process we no, wo ho on file mano, oko fie na. Instead say nko mba adjusting status wa ha no. Omo anya ne sa. Inti no bibisa na omo encouraging nkofo ne say omo nye no more. And papa no unfortunately oko fie no of course oko fie no file man no e ma ni ye omo tron say why omo notify no no omo cast omo be ma ni date for interview but guess what papa no owu ye or ne yare mu kwaye den e ma no wu ye until by the time omo be schedule interview na papa no wewu until he didn't come back again. So this is something enye bibi aye new what dada but who says papa we no buy no bibio sansem hu no mo bedi who say Fridays nkwa no mo issue Friday by close of day no mo dey bad then no mo cause panic and this weekend a long weekend come Monday a Memorial Day so it's a holiday it's no mo kan yeti abom santi no mo say nkofo tim hihim ebisi okofie no and wo fie akofie pe no anu you are done omo nye we because ukofie so imagine say wo ye we ya na one cause we overstay into no just say wunya do fie per buy into no so wa hadada you don't have to go you don't have to leave it's just a policy update because something like this just like nipa no kan no it has to go through Congress to me no to me enfa memo embe change bibi atisa because this is big this is something huge. Into no obian calm me down where enya news and enya bibia ehu why
just Trump or I mean the directive is the discretionary now I don't wanna they say mumiemu the people
yeah exactly mumiemu keke into no because this thing na make no way back 2014 when you say Madam Fubi buy, Madam Fubi eba US ya. In fact, obedu ya no. Na bibi sana yeshe na amempa na bibi sana say omo man say not all the 5 years we no the buy there. But yeah, me share the passport because ono kra wanye we. Na msi omo man no. He no see or 5 years. Now see no, it doesn't mean anything. Officer no, bet me come out 2 and found bet you out 2 weeks. Your point of entry no. It's your check here no. Guess what? Oma trust say no AOS. At the time na me ntia almost stamp na mo the scene way no mu no. No ma trust say no AOS. Ya quote search here no. Nature say no adjustment of status. Now we need no our history because now wabewu wahada acho. Wabewu wahada achama ne ban crimes and no say SHS as at 2014 no. Now went here. And ye went no see omo bisa no eyi ni ade wunim omo oba no this one fa akwara na mba de but omo bisa no say wabewu wahada na ni we ni ade bibi omo delay ni kakra but they still let her in. It's no no a stamp on no, and this was 2014. It's nothing new. It's no unim. And interestingly, now knows why I been saying uncle or tinem nanka was on why and crater. Nanka or Beko Ghana no no new biash nyina say omo be ya ware crater anyway. It's for some reason me nim say nipa krono who say omo psychologist. They train them. It be a short set timer. Omo ne bon komo bisa na about the banu we ni ade no. And e bi omo hwe history ni so omo say maybe ni pay oba ha oche. And na omo will say why not just say maybe in future no obe say obe come. That was what they did. No, winning. She had to go back because was stamping away no say on to me adjusting the status. It means that on to me you come hana wabano on to me and green card that. Na so ko no more be am panic why and they say me who say in conform platforms bebre in fact DJ Nyame minim say munim na SVTV Africa I no pay your video wo ho ai na sa lawyer bi no ne kasa na attorney bi no Abba actually Abba yeah Abba or immigration attorney over US here and she explained everything and this was the exact a year kind. It's also on a Friday no crampo no or you'll be way man or filing my obi ne filing new any idea. And me no ma go through processing so many times because me yeah the me buy it. Anyway na idea. I know how the process works. Wait what that it's just
yeah. As she says, what that America is so me some for be ho be chiro mo sa that budget.
Oh
because
yes.
It's discretionary. You can't challenge it because
exactly.
If the law is already there, but before there was loosely not being enforced. But this guy is telling people, okay.
I see no mumium.
The manager say amount for having over bobo amount for coffee. Boko ya wo udru house ya okra wa.
Yeah, it's a some comfort here, say, I mean, either way, I know go so den comfort, but now, metiso be crack catch you be say, oh, so why when u case cry pendia, it means that so ko. Now me say, hey, and I wish say I could say something to the person because who man advise? Imagine u case pendia, this is not gonna affect you. Oh, yeah. Affect you. It's one money penalty ha no no you are done. It's just leave it. Leave the case now. It's more beyond panic. No, you can only do so much.
Yeah, the information.
The time does not be. It is what it is.
And I only say midterms. How far?
Oh, now me tell me the answer no so be gine ni so. I think a couple of months ago. Time the state ni nyina I think say Virginia. Actually West Virginia and deeply red.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Olusi I know starting so TNT no. So onim so me impeach no. No more plan so be way into midterm because so far no. Omo Lucy ni nyina and he's just on a downward spiral and it's going to continue like that. Obejine ni so. But ono emfa no ho. Why say ojuan fu no?
Why is it to sack?
Pepe, why is it to sack? Just ono die. Well, the form to twe obi aka no ho. Onim so into to sack no twe obi aka no ho. Nti no mamu nye we, but people should just calm down. Who ha na we we a. Just so be to me a who bibi a ye ntem. Who bibi a ye ntem ebi wo ho a bi mo green card nso da bi wa qualify so be citizenship no oti ho mi no just how many nam ho sa we sa kwa we say oba green card no kra no fa nya hwe we ya na opam na wo wa naturalize pompompo no o de wo ko oji say no o try ya say o mbe revoke bi mo kra citizenship. Yeah, because investigate the different ways na e be we so feel say kwan na ofa so unya we no citizenship no who you see fraudulent means wa ma we say revoke we che say nsem hunu sa we obey but who dada just stay calm ya unioma ye and I believe say bibia be okay. Oh, that's a copy of your friend. Who is there?
My name is Trump. I wait here. Easy.
Easy crab. I say uncle for na yaka hu. Nsem hu ni say ya. Papa we some I mean nim ni enti uncle for no to man sa. Me see minim crofo a even che say 2000 no oman to man na this 2024 mo to ma papa. Medwe hu a man ti ase. Me na fofo. And interestingly, yes. Interestingly, me now for one or to map papa we no. Now my geo money so no. You won't believe it. They are the same people who are more supported to sack and kwase Priscilla in kwase some odino. It's no amame who say and crophobia or what me say me now for just a group you because me who say no be more homo diabolic like homo diabolical. It's no different ways so.
A lot of people that think like conservative mind set whereby Trump Obanokrano bit me about do something about gay, that's religious. So
yeah, but why would you believe this guy? Because it's not like on mad though. Papa in the show movie so where you do so show you where you da because what bet na so da oba so the first time exactly. The skills just it's nothing new. And in your more all years is here. He said it all 2024 elections, no can obey. But they didn't believe this guy. Meanwhile, why be that? Into why would you believe so obey? And this time around, for me, he had every motivation. Say be or obey because guess what? Just like JM no. Or one time on to me in into so I say or same. It's just say for you to believe this guy no mean minimum be or catch me say papa no do on your way no the first time no not on madam way or ye juma be no your multiple jobs of course telecommuting ya no or no ye be 4 or 5 jobs you won't believe it and you no question or you enti or say in the first time no ye we no nyeska pa but Biden bass no two jobs pen or to me ye meanwhile we ye juma 4 jobs you were making over 600,000 a year na and no just say Biden so buy you were making well over 300,000 a year now we want your medical doctor 1 year way you are just an IT cybersecurity a way it's if you are making so much a year and enough and more than enough greed in way and I could pay by and I tell you what when him say they running in our born papa buy who's on the first show no buy no so you come back to office way no it's said come back to office no when him they didn't just end it only Elon Musk sa we no mo pull no who say almost can DOJ systems ni nyina it is a we multiple jobs we no say we PIF card no e be reflect it Iti obi oye we bia olusi ube lusi ni nyina. Iti no obi a odi greed mom oye we no. What we lusi ni job nyina?
Lost everything?
Yes. Because
Wow.
Oba e mom we lose everything. I feel there last I catch him say papa we pa na me say I don't want to hear it. Because we
yes.
We ni pa bwane for minim ono kra no chese ono no say I say papa we no ma America. Hey, me say ko fu bi mtimo odi o. O ma America ye fododo. Biden mo ma America ye for we mu de oba unso show of flexing the muscles. I'm saying na ye den. Nipa no oye mean, mtimo odi. Oh,
A few immigrants against immigrants, right? It's like
exactly.
Okay.
It's in
That's
all
what they love.
O to me I didn't na bufu na say Ghana for say ano obia mpo na o mama no kwama na ba America. I see. So you feel that just a wo we nipa chain the next person no mama no visa no. On we yankofo no obi mo omoye I don't know. And then yedu bebe yedu.
Very wicked people.
I mean, Mobiso to give you a coffee pay by ne brother-in-law, or she in the basement. We're Johnny Abish in the basement because with him only in crat, I pay by almost chase him. We're Johnny in the basement. And now, because on to me, Pierre, no, the Obin crat and or the ejuma. So I don't know my I will ripple effect with brave, but minima dear say, only before and Quebec say. Yeah, they drain a year or more. But and ye drew Ghana for I think said the ordinary Ghanaian need more ding. Or you mean? It's not your call for no. And that's how come you have people supporting this girl.
Oh, it correlates?
Yeah, that's what I think. Because really? Other than that, look, how will a well-meaning just say Obia, obe support you, Obia, we could break it, Obi home. You see, and then you tend to bully Nipana or not in a warrior sena. Obia or no or your way no. Just in the house, mom no. What about Gina warrior? And to think that Obi crime no oyers of mammy, oyers of mammy, and not supporting girl way. And I mean, there may be a margin channel. Mrs. of Mammy Pa was supporting a mistress, Pao. Musha be you. Because, why? Just a mentiasie, and Musha crying omodi ebuse immediate family na faswa. Mentiasie. How would you think, say, it's okay for Obi to also ebuse penny distance a you by virtue of the fact so also a family head in tea. Now Obi new. Obi nanewu Obi what's the main mom one mom access to the body. Hey, and this is okay. Inti no. Hey, obati wa jamwada o. Vim power. Kobe jama vim power mu nyina ada o.
Omadeda.
Because
I have him there, man. Nanekum or no?
Anya. Obviously, the water barrel see it because of man to man. But yeah, I get it. But maybe they say me uncle for no me pet. Excuse me, me yeah way. But why should that even just say and then they decide the way? Obi man to man. How does that affect the price of eggs on the market? And I always say that you see Obi adia oye ni room no, the bedroom no. Just say me huni enti say me na omuni mu go for me am go for your bedroom. That that shouldn't take precedence. Otherwise, just say we'll go in a rabbit hole. Because I feel way. The fact that you are sinning differently from the next person doesn't make you a better person. It's anyway. And for instance, me say money be oha. Wunyan aketuan wunyan wasasi so. And let's take somebody like Elton John. So biani papa say adi oye man to money. What's papa no sugar? Oh no, now when the punishment was with all his money, Papa and the body in Eshuge. Excuse me, my French, you're going to a goom. It's no, the punishment no general assassin. So it's no, you see, for me, and yeah, say a determined say, Metu Abama, or be, we are just be Christians, yeah. For me, yeah, hypocritical and judgmental. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Me, Miss Uncle for not me in your way, me just say, me, yeah, dear, me, near Adam for crow, ye be anyway. But when mama or what that growing up, no, not could you be see anyway, no money ho. Na yan from Muda, Omuni and Tim. Yes, yan but as a suddenly no, I feel you obi away. Just an a one in the air, woman to the young pen and him cry and shake. Eh, and the aqua way basis ya. Says here, Wama, Bibia, and a gas, wapa. Miss me talk gas, na me tea ya boom. Elon Musk soon you may hint to be my own Tesla, so they're not their method.
Hey, Araba, very interesting. I like you. You're good at politics.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but it's crazy.
Hey, do you want to Tesla?
Because no way me him. Yeah, but all those people emboldened Akwawe. Oh, the obey because nyine control mu support ama papa we besi su ya otiti obia me say me jam before 1k hwe I stop tracking it because me dey me pay akoma say you me bembewu the way na dey na etiko form no na ehu pa or starting the same way no na me share gas because me car you see premium gas and imagine say premium gas e cost 5 points per liter me Maryland enu pono me city and Frederick no gas here relatively cheaper because me ni Montgomery County more Frederick County na me pour me talk gas 5.2 a year into me feeling me car just at a spot to me spending over $100 why why should that be it's just unfortunately impono me call office I'm still working from home because I'm a call officer means me feeling it twice in a week nada yet you in a month, you'll be spending over $800 just on fuel. Just because one person just say, or a bear my child be our Iran. Any. And to quite starting your first because we win. When we need Soko. When we know.
Mommy.
Mama, me jam why? I am so called when you're a you.
Araba, koso preach your mo. Araba, me tadibi.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Correlated to the guy ya okana se me. I like you.
So it's a maker to sack it there. Look, no, he or you bent it. He's set in his ways. Or any pebia or any money for. Near baby on him say a day or ye. He's not gonna win. And to know, there's nothing that anybody can do. Last now because almost to court no. Try on bebuano. We are not judging, and we are not going ahead of the courts. But you can clearly see, say, omu play delay tactics. Someone in a bono. Court NC obi ebusu penny mano. And if you to me see obi ebusu penny mano. But they just want to delay way no. Omo dream no. Omo feel some place are delay tactics na. Eventually, not time or so for 1 year no. And that's how I see it. Omo game plan no. 1 year no ever swan. And then I feel na judge ebia or ababa say oh. We dey mun kwasiesie no wo fie na mun bom munya say as one family na mun ye 1 year no inti court na kasa na then just like oye in the first court na omo ka so omo say Kumasi High Court no judge na ka so mun kwasiesie no no mun ye e na omo ko fie no omo still na nsemhunu no omo di e na omo ba ya Dorinda or yeah, and shenanigans no. It's there I see says our route na no mo pese de fa so no mo at the end of the day o make us okay ye two ebusia penny ya hye ye two no but we so still our family member or your ex it mo de mo ye one family mo nkobom na mo nkwaye 1 year no na wasan so was starting in same hunu no it no there's no way that we should just say we should never agree. I mean make a we class and make a family no the family should never agree say beye way omone no bebom aya ade no enya sa akwa no obe yes our first way na obe police ade no off bio and I know say this time around man no kwan omone no koto to toe. I like it but I feel like they should be more assertive no munye way na sem phone no doso
na sem phone doso.
it's just me crowd me.
When are you opening your page? You're a good orator.
Me dey me ehufu o kwent no kwentina me ye we so me ye we ya no aba o me amenu me hu kra say me introduce TikTok man me so wa ha no aba o si TikTok dey hu spirit bebre wo ho nti no wo dey o se wo ka ma ba so bia me ka bibi ka kempo wo ha no aba ba cho metumi aka bibi e won spirit bebre wo ho nti wo dey ya man for so na nti I didn't no more no, but me no. I feel like we are on the right track. I mean, team legal. Just that young strategic. It's unfortunate. Say young phone binom just say Mrs. Yano yana mean to delivery no, but want to me so anka because in your way. Into what you can do is say me call team legal platform be tsunami who say. The way I'm moya de no meninje ho a boko na matweme ho na makwahwehwe and thankfully there are so many of you wanya at least ubenya chosen Yesu ba na ebia wa join ni way no wetie bibi because you can really see say or a very informative or a deep na ta nsem hunu ni ade na bi mu ye ne de ya na ha adwen sometimes we need to be strategic I say tactical asem bi wo ho enyansam nyina na ye kan wo outside even if ya nkofo ebia for instance say ya ye nie be me ya obesin onu so court Ghana 3 days okwaji nani fi ni oye no ha adwen but look enye ni nyina we should just turn a blind eye and assume that he knows what he's doing in any case maame no tiase and no court of competent jurisdiction and or surviving spouse wo ho a obeka say ne ba the caveat two ways so obewe na wo parents no mo ye properties na way no man wo so nti no the onto me ne way no ento me override maame no nti no we can only take it just say we can only pray na access to him no na kasa back door. But my fam ba abonte na yembe throw light into so anyway because esa na ye man krofo no asa ye mo omwani age omwahu ye weakness me sa na mehu omwahu say team legal wives no ye acting on impulse because ade na mo ye no omunim say ebufu in fact one show ho so a why obehwe na odidi atem even if you are not built that way krana when you baba ho so na wo didi atem che say because some fun kwa no omudi. But then, no, sometimes you just need to, take a step back, not wash away. And I like what TYA recently. Oh yeah, well, no, take a step back. Or if you no, but whatever it is, sometimes you need a good break, even if it's a week or two. It's not what then you make corrections, adjustments here and there. Then you come back stronger. Since that time, you don't have to be online every single day. Because where sana, you end up saying, as by the time you can't take it back. You cannot unsay something that you said. Into that sana, damage control. You take a step forward, now we're moving 2 steps backwards. Just say, anyway, but ya be ne den ni nyina ka ho na eso nti no obia ne strength yehu obia ne strength leadership no. And me say no, I like Kweku Christo say ono say no nso obia nim so ono so your power ono a fire brand nti no so ono obubom a na weja na wa ya ne de ti waso aye no ho anas bi na ono so ya ne de obia abna papa bi. And I like the way abna papa bi has single-handedly dealt with Frida Fiye, because ono so na wa no terrorist bi no see or social media from Facebook. And minim sa ono so den same hunu no start Facebook da. She started with anyway on ma me ngege kwaye we bi na ngege eche papa ni so no okoye afedi or resurface you so why evangelist. And we all thought say oh ye we mami we as or motivational speaker, I mean lady way, because on your mami she should probably be just a year older than me. Oh okay, ka we say ni nyina settings in stories wa be ka bebre ni nyina say no boa. And send your see mami so. And abna papa bi say no so or dealing with her no. Nti onu say no, onu say obi wo hwa ye de ma abna no abna one handle no fine. And then just obia who is strength, because ye nyina obia ni o jack of all trade. I they are all strength. Nti no, you just focus on your way, but don't try to be everywhere. And I see that is a mistake that unfortunately some of the omo cameras no ebi mo ye ebi wo ha wo strength no wo to me be jijiska. And sana nyankopon aye o, it's good. So nka me no wa you focus ewo ho, but men try say wo be ye analysis. You see obi a won sheda wonye we analysis no is not for the weak. You have to be a deep thinker. You should have strong analytical skills, and so wonya some mental fortitude some level of maturity. Yes sir, you can't we obi a wonni sa we na time bia wo start your seminar, you might start well, but by the time I will be end the submission no na afempo de just say why worse than the way I was starting. You know what my situation na be make here it some move to me. But I feel like the ship has already sailed. They say I know obia you no boss nti no obia to be to obia fu nti no maybe yeah no and I will be sure, because nipa no so if or hear the same thing na say who different result I guess said that the person will be forced to amend new ways. But say also odin same kunu, but they be also so na ekwekogu so who anything, because we feel that still our numbers no into obeko so edin same hunu sa. But so oye same huna mama ye show. And the only way you can revolt and say mobe jai say mo kwa the platform no so until say mbe say na dwunya be fie. Because look, at the end of the day ye nyina ma min na ye hwehwe victory amano, but ye mpe victory mano na at the same time so no na ye can some ye be wie na ye gu ma min anim ase enye fine. You to make a cancel hunu bisa na afe hu say wo ka bi ma mi o say wo gu na ni wase o say wo ye den o, but just say bibia basa nti pacho mama yenye we why. Okay, measure comment section. So obi be say bibia. Okay. You're very welcome. Hey, I know you're outside. Do you still want me to go on? Okay, anyway, James, because and our boss lady, you want to say something? Hey. Boss lady. It's your show now. Mate. Okay, so anyway, again, like I said, let's see, say, okay, so personally, right? The moment who say Omwa adrage Calvin in no, I knew that it was game over for them. And the reason I say that is, oh, say first no, na omo pillar, nipa na omo hide behind, na omo di omo di nsem hono no. Kofi Usu. Na Kofi Usu sa front no weekend ye no. Ena omo try say omo puli omo you see Denise. But Denise no, because onya ma me ne ba no, you see, even though oya papa ne ba, but ono carry sa strong way no, oni sa willpower no. Until they had to find a way and drag in somebody or way. And this is all because of the letters of administration. Now, also letters of administration no omo file Mrs. Akuse se ofosu okoye we no file no. Ena Priscilla no on the lawyers no echo file caveat. Now caveat no mko file no because ono so no at least until the appeal has gone through no high court ruling no it stands until also yes your wife. Now she was also notified and I said the attorneys they were notified say okay so papa and the wife one of the wives and then a sister I submitted a year for letters of administration and the caveat no the court also say also your wife into no company. Now by law no so man I believe say 8 working days. Now or the justification the reasons why I feel say say yede ma me no na yede mo ono no. And some of the ways so to me proving say properties bi wo ho a ono feel say oni deal yeah and the deal was so to me prove say ono so oko oni those properties there so the bar. And guess what? Only she because no only papa no anya ni way. Na papa no worry no. Inti time no elapse time no the man no. Inti automatically na so the way. And no mo kofa Denise. Ma Denise so odi caveat beto so as papa ne ba. But Denise caveat no and work so they had to find a way to pull mame no ne ba in. But formality keke. So either way to me and I heard I'm not sure so correct me if I'm wrong. You say mame no yade we na mano ele na mano but me I knew say mame no it's not because of person ye way because of person oje ele no because why already say or beche properties no appeal no yeah but letters of administration or apply just so that no person almost tell waters no mo say so will be or what because we shouldn't forget that before sansem huni nyina na o master ti Kofi Usu say kojo fosu otiase no the bibia na ye na we or the we sansem huni sa na we otwo no the we mu say yankata na nim or the sa we so they had to make sure say will be or na and in order to debunk sa will ade na mo ye no because no mo ka wa really bibia ma way the only way was for them to apply for something like that and guess what or apply here no and a court no can say will be ani ho. That was a very big win for Team Legal Wives, but for some reason no I don't know whether say ya dream alcohol say then but in any case my many there onya ade no pass say an onye because opeso onya absolute control and that is what she deserves. And I know so the woman is not greedy. And you see, in the face of the law, there's nothing like an illegitimate child. To be honest with you, girl no me maintenance you. Or bro no maintenance here because so womba no ye we woni pe woni na wo 6. And na dey no so mo chairman kwala na. A Child Protection Act was then e wo Ghana ho no. It takes into consideration ages. Minor kids ni nyina omono ombenya greater percentage when it comes to kids na and some pennyfo no no ono kra no womba 60 unless it says she knows something that ye mu be a suspect but of course you to be in car because you can't prove it until we because some kola 6 no mu nyina so mu ya minors guess what enyoma wo benya no womba no eba womba yi ho a wenya so sa year di omo afam nyina menti ase. And another thing so me pacho muma Team Legal Wives kobe obati wanum nu we ni ade muma ye hu se enkrofo no from day one Who say iti akono no ana iti akono. Who say ano ono wayirem. Is this not a guy obejina okojina Kumasi hono oka say or deal ni say friends a tribute or ni tribute or say or deal partner business partner no our shares first they were trying to use iti akono to claim properties for the girl. Oh, and I'm call court no they couldn't prove it. I feel they almost say a deal or the iti akono because no more or send this guy edukotia nkwala no fees, but they could also know they couldn't prove that as well. It's when we say iti akono no suddenly no and no can say DLFM yini ade almost say farms no say bisa iti akono we mu. So where is iti akono? Iti that should tell team legal wife say enkrofo no from day one no mo ya kronfo Baba Jamal Eyimo omunye dia lawyers, and I don't know if they cannot question them say inti no money edene chese no mo lawyers omuni retain e bia o ha na agreement ban na ewo ho omuni dia ye nipa no so ewu na nipa no wu a woni obi wo we a owu a woda so ya ne lawyer na Roman father wo na wo say wo manage obi wo manage nipa na ewu a nti o say o manage dia dead body ana so o manage ne den. The whole thing doesn't make sense. It's not sa we should question those see if an baku iti akono sa ni alibi no de buy no say a man who said no, it was a complete lie. Baba Jamal and associate. Fortunately, Baba Jamal or na we kwaya interview no. And so biate so can say or your lawyers for Priscilla or say on any clients bekano no ye. Meanwhile, almost so omo ye dear lawyers. So are there conflict of interest no? Why is he saying say oh yeah dear lawyer no one TV so and he didn't say this in his closet a public record or say oh yeah no or say omo Priscilla lawyers and all this way no I see a pulling in na it's yen I say yes I did no we should bring all those things out. Oh na your mom who say enkwafo no host bebre o iti akoro we hin because for me it was a big deal okanya akwokan wo Kumasi ho inti no ahyese na okuni nyina iti akono ahyese na ne nsa wom dendenden no so o deal we so far deal we na ba out nyina deal radio also on a partner also producing some of deal albums nyina now sa albums nyina we hin there's not even a single album deal album iti akono who or acknowledge say we a producer. So all those people know any Idi Amin Munina, they have to come out. If they cannot prove it, then some mom so. And I know say they don't have it because sir in your man you cannot forge a time stamp because whatever evidence I would be called court no. And say to me in IT there's something they call non-repudiation. And non-repudiation no, it should not just say and say obi to me challenge it into something like I said dates time san your money nyina on to be for GBB omon backdate Ghana they want to be backdate stuff but guess what in this case they cannot because no money be brain no as a ritual effect I say to me call back and they cannot trace it no just say mama dey na say me there but unfortunately no and there were a lot of evidences but young for no I don't know ye mo be mo send submissions no no na make no where you be platform into no I'm not going to call out obia waha and but then no I'm sure say nyina you're smart we are some of us are very analytical we'll be able to tell say ebi mo ho a send your music asem in fact by the time on be wie no mo guma minimum anymore ase but because you cannot be fighting for someone and at the same time no na who say na nipa no na busia no mani brade no we why you and these things cannot be unsaid what can someone asem no before be fi wano aba no ese wo dwen ho wo dwen and nipa who can say no so why you too emotional sometimes you need to calm yourself down yen nyina ye nipa we emotional just when ni baba na make no one shot when ni baba ho so no wo be kan asem bia later, what you say? Hey, did I really say that? But unfortunately, no. Just say, bebre no amu ni sa ade no. No mark can sometimes sometimes we screen recording it say hey they didn't cry ni yana a hardwin into your palm show more access to be mo the back door money on monkasa why say a yan some be if you don't have anything to say man you obisu can some shower try and just say more be who's some way dear source there a higher na fever and you're fine. You cannot say that. And guess what? Mami akosia Ibrempoma. Who said time omu bisa no we no. Say amu say checklist one why say or no say girl no na we kun deal no. Also me and you see sa you know the man was perfect. Also minim nipa okun me bra enka me nenam ha. Na ni American say me bra no. No, ni nipa no ni tifie. Perfect. We are winning, and of course, you see, abroche when you obite, na nipa no owa. Just a when the first a suspect and as a person of interest, but it's unfortunate say a whole deal ewa Ghana. Oni nipa nete. Oni we nkofo bebre abe cancel bebre incriminate so many. Just say. I mean, how is it that DLFA then nipa no wa CCTV cameras ni nyina anyhow? Nobody is questioning this. Meanwhile, neighbors were her, and I'm very sure. Say just a call records. Ni we ni adie cell towers. Ni we ni adie. Just say you were very strong way where some made to me, but omo say omo nye. And we know say adie no omo ka some be but omo say omo nye, and it's very clear say omo cover up for whoever, and only God knows omo yewe. It's in ontokwane there we should pick our battles because at the end of I say yes ye ni sunsun etumfo na ne omo yewe ye bi atiwa no no so ebe for nti sa yin de ebe jama tiwa nom ni we ni ade no principalities no mo mu ko deal with that. Na yanso a you bet to me and you bet to me as support with way no other way no ways some bet to me a pulley evidence ni way ni ade no. Na their mom wa back door on. And yes so you bet to me this car support no. Na their support contributions their full platform bi kakra wonim no because ade ni de nyansa ni ba ko fotirim on. And obia me say we dey obia sometimes we bet to me any evidence from just the least expect obia who expect crass or be way you be surprised so ono no be can be bia e be twe wadwen ejira bi so let's be very tolerant yentie nkrofo asem ni we ni ade obi o ha unso kan kwase asem but guess what so wunya abotra na wutia by the time obewie no most of be kan kwase asem bebre but you will be able to pick something out na yan fan support why na ekun we die minim say akakra na ye wie because appeal need there there's no way sir bet me or they are found no dey found kra na there are other ways we ebe Supreme Court if you we ebe kwa we o so they know say entokwa ne de ade ne de dey aye njemu and omo start a break because even American letters of administration the girl couldn't prove it when to me and prove it say even though court and say or your wife no she couldn't bring any justification and say you did no you did mano. Look, at the end of the day, the truth is on our side. It can be very frustrating, but young person fight why na Nyankopon so be. I'm saying the best how time out, so I need to go pick up my mom from work. Meduma also. It's where's Kobe? Kobe Brown na me ko. Kiki say, isn't it strange that the mainstream media is looking the other way? It is, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me because they are all neck deep. They are neck deep in this whole thing. It's a idea where they are yet me baby idea ni fi. And mainstream media no enya nkofo ya Idi Amin enko enya mo no mo controlling mainstream media no omo inti no omo nyina eyi omo ani but you see Ghana for last time me catch I was telling my mom on the wa woni mo no believe in Ghana ni eyi way on the bibia spiritual I was telling her say you see say Ghana penny for no mugu no So omu yo bi omu ye we ya. So omu say deal. There are some people omu ya jijifo pa. I always say that. Deal are one of those people. Me de akufado so beka but there somebody like David. One with David upon all same huno di ye. She so okun okofa when Bathsheba na no ordinary husband war front ma okowu ye em say you real said then okowu ye e no ne no wo Solomon niana say sakwara no podi owu ye but Solomon ma me wonim odin sansem hun wie ye no e no odin mi ka Psalm 51 ye creating me a clean heart eyi ni ade no so osuyam Yankopon de ne bone che no hwensem hun a wedi o Yankopon de ne bone a che no weku obi ni we ade nyina obi otisa wudi na chi a o ejijefo and those people no omo de Yankopon akoma so dear happen to be one of those people sankrofo no yenku omo wuja no edi ni nsem hunu ana wewu because wunim uku omo a won fa wundi enti no I believe sankrofo we yen na suspect say enye dear nkwa no omo eku no omo nkrofo bebre but guess what dear yes nkrofo ni bi oye David type no sankrofo you cannot touch them because omo ye Yankopon way enunti ena omo bre no because why no why way and she dear wu ye no because me suspect say ni wo no enye ni wo nti she kat calamities are ato Ghana she sankrofo says government officials somebody as fine as Omani Buama. And I believe say Omani Buama when we are and ka obeko way because not a perfect way. Me a sure person can this on obeko. But you see, Lumba wu ye no mukunu ye enya na we mu nyina wu Safo Kantanke wu na na kunedu Ajiman Rollins. She high profile for me wu ni nyina obi anye we just say bibia obi antumi trend. This man has continued to trend. Lumba omade de kedi just say we mu bibia we ya sapo ye ni nyina ti wa mu nyina o mantumi antrende and this we mu nyina ya high profile people so share dear lady they just can't sit down and see say no asem way there until say yebema justice e prevail no enyoma enkoye look enyoma nkofo no mo brepa almost struggle because guess what the whole country imagine clergy Christian council ni we ni ade motiwo mo de obi ani evidence say omukuno but how can the whole Christian council motiwo emma omo de aware anim etwetwe form say until say ombe overturn Dorinda ruling no de baye no it's binding what what bibia so it means that say one worry obi anase woni okunu worry or woni obi worry woni wojire just a worry for ho na ba ko sinchan kofa side chick or side dude so e den na se nipa no owu unfortunately nipa no ye reckless no on nipa ne te onya access to nipa no ne properties anase ne documents ni we na oye we no okuna just say nipa no obeye otumi ye legitimate man ye now the person can rub shoulders with a lawful wedded wife and as a husband until it's overturned. No, this is what they are saying. And the more clergy now more no Christian council one for no charismatic and then for no and them one first one saying because mo na mo se mo ya so for and na mo nim say worry Bible so say the Bible frowns on sa enyoma nyina or say what God has joined together let no man put asunder. It's immutable and nobody is condemning this. Only one software, I mean, apart from software Apostle Kwatimwa umbeye we no. One a year, na yenim so ye we or condemning during the honestly the next day on our patch, and I was so disappointed. Software Usansa. I was so because then no condemn me, no. He did so well, and I thought, okay, at least you know be man standing up to it. Then the next day, Papa apologizing as to why and for what, I don't know. Obian Kashi, but he came back and apologized. This is a country, me until then, me mama me whole time. So anye we ya me dan organa kra me koton. Because this is just a You're safe. We are all not safe because obi bet to be a chinchimunsa. You can work so hard and then within a twinkle of an eye. And people do this all the time. Your husbands, your wives will crom her. Oh, I'm time bia no you can't be just want to be the deal of chisa. Are they? It is or that's or couldn't in same huna. Just the other partner no. Now on no. We are trying to say that I see a penalizing the panel. For what? For the sense of or no nipa no on a partner we couldn't say no. This is not right. And I feel like just say we are not screaming enough. We are not yelling at the system enough. Ghana, they need to do right. They need to do right by God because this is so wrong. We Nyankopon film krana. One of the pillars for society, a holding society together, a marriage. One of the institutions are a mass society a marriage. And guess what? CCI or mama marriage, this a marriage, a woman for so until sa ruling is overturned. And obi to na dream. But whilst at it, made the near mechanic say, Enianum ni where you waha, pacho, and ya dream bonio, but obi shining the eyes. Me, it was as though I deal with me one in temp. Me some my ex-husband said deal the same hunsa. The only thing is on no legend. But the sick a fian crana no one same huna no just a treatment or didn't perform organa hono. Me say me ana me dem hona me ko file for way. Me file for divorce in portion yet. And because ono na dream no say or ye divorce na I see a check properties no. And I could see a guy no just say on person be ye so no to what and I knew so on your bafofo e hye ho on worry no but on na ewo minim on na ti ye fie wo anyway nyina but initially I said me fie no na am say you know what guy we ma min jaro no fa no musu nko. It was very hard because me share a year me worry inte me really go on pen me worry until I think I got married at the age of 23. Me year my national service me year the following month na me year wedding. Until no me an but onim me no ye me share ye we na say ade we emboa me. Me am fa lawyer e wo Ghana. E no ye we almost having across your on. Fortunately for me 2021 I didn't 2017 on me started say me chase say yenjaye o say on me fa lawyer. Fortunately 2021 and sa we no omo pass here na utumi survey e wo social into omo survey no WhatsApp and na already ya dey check blue pe and I confirm me here. So we took screenshots and everything and they dey call court ni we ni ade no court oyo but I said you know what wo dey fa bibia because me who say why na doing say on person ye be share properties na me say it's okay wo dey fa ho na me fa me ho me so mentina ha because wonim 2017 I'm who say akwa we I said no ye hu I started building myself because I had lost na me invested so much me no but me say you know what mama am dream no and me am started say me ya ma de kakra let me tell you divorce no go through no me wie no between that time and now properties anyame adomate me aye no e chen ya me no ye wo ho no ye bo mu jointly enti look mama ye way let's be assertive our India ho but ye hu where just say ye hu be ye investment when you be nam na hu say no ade we ya say shake ya you know it Emma we are not that stupid obehu look ebi wo ho a wo hwe na say ade no we invest wo bebe na hawa and there you can go ahead and do it but otherwise me pam cho yen try so much na yan kasampo yen invest ewe ye ho ye mu ane enkwala no but look men for bibia fan share because enkwala no kra no unfortunately the way Calvin saw him he might have his plan. Me I don't think he's stupid. I want to believe that he knows what he's doing, but either way you see it still doesn't look good on the mama. Me I sacrificed so much for them, but unfortunately some of their kids are like that and won't be nyamoshe. Look, ye nyina ebi wo beka say we yes won wa kwala bone da. Obedwen say woni me batete. No, you can do everything right. But akwala no Huh? Kobe? Okay. Bachomiko. Hello? Oh my goodness. I don't know so. Mommy said, do you want to come up? Hey, who is going to pick her? I didn't say about me so. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Sister Sikowate, na kobi de udi na chia obekaso.
Oh, okay. And then we'll call it. Thank you
But
so
we
much.
were actually listening to you too. So, but